if you submit one link, right, I'm going to get all your assignments. So for everything you're doing, we are doing all in one link. You don't necessarily need to create pages. You can just once you do information architecture up here, you can go down, use a rectangle to just write the next section. You get? So that I don't want a situation where we have different links and you'll be confused. Just use one link from the start of this class to the end. We can there. So if you submit it, I know that any assignment, I don't need to ask you for links every time. I just need to go and check the one you already submitted to see the assignment of that one.
Please,
Hope we are
can you
together
show
on this
me?
one.
Yeah, can you show me so that I will fully understand? Because even my own now is on different pages, so I will get
If I
fully
can
what.
show you. Oh, okay.
Yes, on
So yeah,
Figma.
I'm going to show you once I start sharing my screen. Once I
All right.
start sharing my screen, I'll show us how to do it. So even if you've done it in separate links, all you need to do is just to copy it from that link and put it there. So that's the first thing I'll show once I share my screen. But for now, we'll just first of all look at the theoretical part of information architecture. Like I said, we're going to do information architecture and user flow. So after that, then the next thing we are going to look at is wireframing. That means we have entered design main after this information architecture and all of that. So let me be sure of all the things we've done so far. We've done competitive analysis, right? We've done customer journey map, we've done empathy map, we've done what did we do again yesterday? User persona. We've done these 4 things, and let me assume that we all now understand these 4 things. For customer journey map, it's the experience you want your users, the totality of experience you want your users to go through while using your platform. For okay, we've done customer journey map, we've done empathy map, we've done information, we've done user persona, and we've done competitive analysis. That's it, right? That's the 4 things we've done, like as per design, things that we've designed. And all of these things are the UX deliverables, like I said. So for now, once we finish information architecture and we do user flow, we'll now move on to wireframing. That's not talking about the design itself, all of the designs. So what is information architecture, right? Information architecture, like I said in previous class, that it is the way we use to arrange our content. It's more of arranging your content on a platform. So just take it as it's everything, the totality of every content you need to have on your platform, right? It's like if you want users to be able to navigate your platform, you need to be able to give them all that you feel like you need on the platform. So information architecture simply is just arranging of content or arrangement of your content on a design. So we have different principles of information architecture, right? So I'm just going to talk about the 8 principles. Now, the first one is the principle of objects. One thing you need to note is you need to create your content as,
Please,
you need to
sorry
treat
to
them
take you
as
back.
living things.
Sorry, please, sorry to
Hello?
take you back. Can you come
Okay.
again? Yeah, sorry.
Okay. So information architecture is basically arrangement of your content on a website or a mobile app. So let's see the way you arrange information. Now, just take it for instance, if you're a librarian, right? You work in the library. One of your work is to arrange books the way they would be. So you get to know where science books are supposed to be. And even under science, we have medical sciences, we have plant sciences, we have animal science, and all of those different sciences. And then you need to arrange all the books according to where they are. So that's just the whole principle of information architecture. Information architecture is arranging your work or arranging all your contents that you have in a design, or all the contents you need to design, arranging them where they are supposed to be, so that users can easily find what they want to find from your website. So it's the structure that we use in arrangement, or is what we use in arranging all our content on the website. Can I move forward now?
Yes, you can. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. So, like I said, we have the principle of objects. Now, for the principle of object, right? What we are trying to say in this particular principle is that you need to treat your content as you living things, like they are living things. Just take content as though they have life cycles, they have behaviors, and they have attributes. Now, let's say, for instance, right, there are some contents that you say sign in, sign up. Some of the content you see on website, it's looking like they are humans, right? Or they are words that humans can do. So you treat your living things, you treat your contents like they are living things, they have lifespans. Some of them will die, some of them will just stay and and something will happen, and then you need to bring in new content, right? So that's what you need to. They have behaviors too, they have attributes. That's the first principle. The second principle is the principle of choices. Less is more, very important. You need to keep the number of choices that you give to your users to a minimum. So let's say on your nav bar, right, you have so many things. Sometimes it's very okay that you just do home, about us. That means if you have so many things, you can just put the last one as more. So if for people that wants to see more, they can go and see more. So that's the principle of choices. The principle of
Please,
disclosure.
sorry
You need to
again. Network, my network logged me out. That number one principle is what again?
Principle of objects. Treat your
Okay.
content as living things. treat treat them as though they have life cycle. So the way you write your content, just imagine, this thing I'm writing is a human being. That's one. The second one is choices. Principle of choices. You need to keep the number of choices to a minimum. It should be short. You should not give your users plenty things at the same time when it comes to choices. So by the time we start doing the practical aspect of information architecture, you get to understand most of the content you have on your platform. And then we have the principle of disclosure, right? Now, for this principle of disclosure, we are saying that you should show your users a preview of information that will help them understand what is hidden if they dig deeper. So take, for instance, you have on the platform on Next Factory Design You, right? If you go to Design You, there's a part called courses on it. Now, under the courses, sometimes you might see a preview of product design and graphic design. But is that the only courses they offer in Next Factory? No. So, but with these two, I already know that there are more courses. So that's what this particular principle is saying. This particular principle is saying that you should just give us a preview of information. Let us know. Then, if we dig deeper, we'll see the other thing. Sometimes, if you check on any website, right, when you see about us, if you look most of the about us, you see that they'll just write small, like very small content, and then you see a part where you see more. If you click the see more, that's when you now read. You now go about reading the whole content that is there about the platform. So that's what this is saying. Principle of disclosure. And then we have the principles of exemplars. You need to show examples of the content when describing the content of the categories. So let's say, for instance, you have courses, right? So under courses, the exemplars, principle of exemplars means under courses, you have to display product design and graphic design so that people will know that this is what it means. So if they go deeper, they'll see more. With the example, I know what I'm supposed to see there inside. Are we together? Can I move forward?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, ma'am. I
Oh,
want to
okay.
ask. I don't. You're not sharing your screen.
Yeah. It's deliberate.
All
So
right.
I'm just for now. We are just doing the talking part. Then once we get to the practical, I'll share my screen.
Ma, please, I don't understand the last point you just talked on.
The principles of exemplars.
Yes.
So I said, show examples of the contents that you're using to describe. Now we have categories here, right? Let's say, for instance, this thing that we used to do when we were small, name of food, name of food. I know. Then the first person will call the food. So that's it. We know that food is a category, drink is a category. Under food, you can have rice, beans, and all of that. Then under drinks, you can have Coke, Fanta, Sprite, and all of those other ones. Now, for the person that starts that game, the person will first of all give you an example for you to know what they mean. So do you get? So it's just like saying, if you have a category of something, name of cars, you give an example of what is expected. So for cars, I can decide to say Toyota. So the next person will now know what to say. So it's just like giving an example, just the way they do in classroom,
Okay.
in schools, right? They give you an example of what they want to give you before they give you assignments. So
Okay.
that's
Okay,
what
ma'am.
this,
Okay.
yes,
Thank you.
yeah. So then the next principle is we have the principle of front doors. Now for this principle, just take it that assume that
Principle of
your
what? Sorry,
users
I didn't get it.
front doors,
Front door.
yes, front door. So this principle states that your users, right, would follow different places to get to your platform. Now, remember when we are doing our customer journey map, right? The part where we have points, last point of contact. Some person said through a friend. Some person said that part you would see some places where it's online. Some is via Google. For instance, if I'm looking for e-commerce store and I go to Google to type e-commerce store, Jumia will come out, Konga will come out, and then I will now look for which of them to join, right? So the principle of front doors is just telling us that, well, most of your users, right, will come through different means that is not your homepage. Most of your users will come through different means that is not your homepage. So always put that in your mind. Some persons will come to your platform and they are not coming from your homepage. They can come from different angle. Do we get that?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So that's one thing. Some people will come via WhatsApp group. Some people will come from Instagram. Some people will come from different places that is not your homepage. So always put that in your mind. That's the principle of front door. And now we have the principle of multiple classification. So what this particular principle is saying is that you should offer your users different classification scheme that they should browse from. Offer them different classification. Let them be able to browse through so many things. So sometimes what we do, right, after classifying, right, we get to do things like search bars and all of that, so that they can come from different angles, so that they can see different ways to classify their items and all of that. So we all have the principle of focused navigation. What this particular principle is telling us is that principle of focused navigation is that you should keep your navigation very simple. Keep your navigation very simple. So I've seen, if you go to Access Bank, right, just try to check Access Bank on your system. You see that Access Bank navigation is not as simple as it should be. We have so many things, so many places, like so many things on the nav bar. You see home, you see about us, you see this, you see that. Just try and check it and see how, if you're using your laptop, right, with your laptop, you see it well. But if you're using your phone, I doubt you're going to see what I mean. But what we are saying, it should be very simple. If you have so many things like that, right, you should look for another way to classify them. Now we have the principle of growth. That's the last principle. But the principle of growth here, right, you need to assume that your content on your platform will always grow.
You said
So
the
make
last
sure
one is principle of what?
principle of growth.
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 Okay, growth. Okay, growth.
Yes. Yeah. So for this principle, just take it that your website or things on your platform will always grow. So your platform should be scalable. Take a very big example, WhatsApp, right? WhatsApp, when WhatsApp started, it was just normal messages that you can send. Along the line, they had to bring in, what's it called? Along the line, WhatsApp brought in voice call that you could call. Still along the line, they brought in video through a meeting with WhatsApp and share your screen. That's a video meeting on WhatsApp, and you'll be able to share your screen. You get, so your content would always grow. Things on your platform would always grow. So always consider that when you're trying to build your platform. Is there any question?
Yes, please, can you throw more light on the principle of a multiple classification?
Okay, so for the principle of multiple classifications, right? This is what you need to just put in your head. Offer users various classification schemes to browse on the site. So let's say, for instance, I'm trying to look at the best example to give. I think I need to share my screen at this point. So let me open a site and share my screen. Give me 2 minutes.
Hello, Buma, how about?
She's trying to share her screen.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, please, can you make me a start to leave one of my this thing to join here? Okay, so hosts, please. All right, so while he's giving us, let me look for. Okay.
Okay, Buma, I've done that. You're the host now.
Yeah. All right, thank you. All right, so let me share my screen. So now these are like pictorial view of all of the principles, right? So for principle of multiple classification, just look at this. Can you see this? You have something on top, right? And you have content inside. So let's go to Access Bank. Access Bank. Now look at Access Bank, right? You can see all of this. Now you could see that in all of this particular thing, once I over on it, you'd see different things attached to it. Now this is ways to the bank, right? Under ways to the bank, if I come to ATM, I'll see another classification. So what this is saying is when you're classifying your objects, right? If there are plenty, you can use multiple ways to classify them. This is the first one, ways to bank. Under ways to bank, we have access money, we have WhatsApp banking, we have ATM. Now, under ATM, they have another form of classification. Under cards, there are still different classification. Under mobile banking, you can see it. So this is what we mean by multiple classification. Same thing with this. If I come here, this is classified. Personal banking, you have different classification. Now, still under personal banking, if I come to this particular banking, you see another form of classification. Do you get now?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay, so that's what that particular thing means. So is there another question? Is there another question? Okay, so now that there is no question, let's just go to Figma to start our information architecture. So for yesterday, right, what I did is, oh, we are not done. Sorry. So there are more things I need to I just want to rush to Figma. All right, so that's it for information architecture, the principles. Now, one thing you need to note again is that information architecture is very important. How is it very important to the user? Now, one thing you need to note that as user, one of the things we are trying to give to our users is the fact that we want them to be able to look for what they are looking for. Remember that we've been talking about seamless. Everything we're talking about is seamless experience. The experience should be seamless as possible. Now, so just imagine that you are a user and you go on the platform, you're looking for something, it's very complicated. Would you come back again for that thing? You're a user, right? You're looking for something. would you come back to actually look for it if it's what you're doing is difficult?
Of course, I will get fed up. I wouldn't want to come back.
Now, that's it. A user will just abandon a process and move on if it's very complicated. So one of the things information architecture helps us to do is to organize our content the right way that users can find it. Now, we have four types of users that comes to every website. Now, number one is the known item seeking users. So you know those users that they come to your website to find what they already know. For instance, someone like me, if I'm going to Jumia to find a mouse, I already know what a mouse looks like. So I'm just going to look for it. So that's what we call the known item users. Now we have the exploratory kind of users. Now these users, they come to your website to just look for inspiration. They are looking for something, but they don't know what it is. Then we have the users that are
second one, say that again. The second type of user.
exploratory
Okay.
users. Then we have the users that are mostly product designers that are looking for, they are conducting a research. They can come to your website. Remember what I said that you should do, heuristic principles. They are coming to your website to conduct extensive research. And we have the users that they need something, they've gotten it before, and they are coming because they know that they can get it on your platform. So with information architecture, it will help you to be able to think about all these kind of users and how they'll be able to navigate your platform. Let's say, for instance, right, if you go to Jumia, if you're looking to buy something like a shoe, the first thing you will do is you might need to go to their filter. Okay, so let me just open Jumia. If I go to Jumia and I'm looking for a shoe, the first thing I'll do is either I search from here or I come to this part and I know that I'm going to find shoe under fashion. You can see the principle of multiple classification being played here. Under fashion, you can see different fashion. Now, if I'm looking for shoes as a lady, I'll come to under women fashion. I'll now click on shoes. And then I can see the shoes. The next thing the next thing I want to do, right, is to now look for shoes based on their colors or based on their style. Sneakers, sandals, slippers, boots, and all of that. So let's say I want boots. I'll come here and you can see the different boots that I can get on Jumia. Oh, wow, I've never come to this part in Jumia before. So that is it. So they made sure that you could find what you're looking for by just searching for it. So good information architecture will help your users know where to find information. Now, one thing it helps for the company is that it will increase your productivity. So let me show you something, right? Where is it? All right, let me look for it. I think it should be under my drafts. So let me find it. Okay, today I remember the name. All right, just take a look at this, right? This is a definition, or this is, should I say, combination of both information architecture and user flow together. Okay, now take a look at this, right? When I first started working for this company, for employee productivity, they already had this. For information architecture, coming to the company, I knew what I was going to design immediately. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
Yes, we can hear
coming
you.
to the coming to the I was contracted by somebody to work on this particular app, and the person then was in Abuja and I was in Lagos, and for me to be able to work on it effectively, they already had their information architecture. I knew everything that I was to design on the platform. So giving me this, I was able to use just few minutes, or should I say few hours, to study the whole platform. Now, just having the super app and having logistics and food, what does it tell you? It's just simply telling you that the platform has both logistics and food. Under their logistics, you need to have a part where they can send orders, they can track orders, and they can view orders. Now, under tracking orders, you can see that okay. Under tracking orders, right? You under send, so you can see that you can send to either local or international. Under local, you can see that you have to put your pickup address and your saved address. Under international, you have to put your request pickup and make drop off. And then under tracking, I have to put tracking number. Tracking number is valid. If yes, show tracking information and all of that. You can see how detailed this is. If I give you this, for instance, Daniel or David, I give you this and say you should design. Is this not very easy for you to design? You're not doing the thinking, no. They already did the thinking for you. All you need to do is to start designing. You can understand this project in hours, true or false. Guys, the question, yeah. So you can understand, you can understand this project in hours without even anybody telling you. So one thing information architecture will help you do is for employee productivity. If you're a new person that comes to the company, it will not take you time to be able to understand how you are going to do it. Then it's also going to help you in sales. If users can find what they are looking for, don't you think they will come back and they will refer you to people? That's another important. And it's also going to help you acquire new users. It's going to help you reduce marketing costs because you don't need to always spend money for people to be coming to your website. I'm not saying you to totally remove marketing costs, no, but it's going to reduce the amount that you spend. It's also going to help you in SEO ranking. Imagine people are always searching about you. People are always referring people to search about you. It's going to affect your SEO. Then it's going to reduce the cost of always support documentation. So let's say you will now have to always write how people can navigate your website, but with a good information architecture, you don't need to have all of those documents. Very well. So how do you create information architecture, right? The first thing is to define your company goals. Now, for all of you, you need to think, what am I achieving with this particular projects that I'm working on? What am I achieving with housemaid or help or this? What am I achieving with it and all of that? After that, you now get to define your users' goal. What do I want my users to benefit from this? Then the best way to always do information architecture. This is one. Then card sorting is another one, which is analyzing competitors. That's why I say look at your competitors. One of the things I do when I'm doing information architecture, one of the things I tell people when I want to teach information architecture is always look at your competitors. So let's say, for instance, I want to do payment app, right? I'll go to Kuda or any of this platform, and I will look at how they arrange their things, how their things is arranged on the websites. If you look at Kuda, if you want to make payments, for instance, where do you think it will be under payments? Even FCMB, any of these banks, you get to see them there. So one way to learn information architecture is look at your competitors, start clicking on all the buttons or all the content you can see there. Write down all the content and then you know how to arrange your own. So one of the things you're looking for if you're using your competitors is how do they display information? Where do they display it? Which information is very common? That's if you go to all the what's it called? If you go to all the e-commerce sites, right? What information would you see at every point in time? Is your website easy to navigate? Is it very easy to navigate? If it's easy, then it's something you can copy. What is good and bad about your website? So one of the things you can do is full inventory. Take down all the content you can see on your competitors, like just take it down, all of them, all the pages, even the things they will download, take it down and it will help you. Another way you can do information architecture. Oh, okay.
Like the shape, does the shape have something to do with this information architecture? Like the circle, the triangle, the parallel, all the
Okay,
shapes.
so like I said, this is how an information architecture is supposed to be, but this is a combination of information architecture and user flow. So when we get to user flow, for information architecture, there is no much shape. What you have to do or what is there is you just need your rectangle. But in user flow, right, you have different shapes, and different shapes means different things. So when we get there, I'll tell you about the different shapes that are obtainable there. Now, the next thing is how do you now do it? First of all, you need to label and group things. Things that you think are similar needs to be grouped. Just for instance, this pickup address and saved address, they are all receivers address, right? You can see that this is grouped to one place. So you should learn how to group and label content. Then you should have define your navigation. You should have you should do all of those things. Then card sorting is also another thing that would help you. Is we've talked about card sorting, right? Where I give an example that if you want to buy a player, for instance, you need your audience or your fans to suggest the players for you. So if you want to do good information architecture, sometimes you tell your users to suggest how they want things to be done on a platform. So is there any question on the explanation before we move to the practical aspect? Okay, so
Ms. Boma, please, I want to
yes.
ask, is that something under information architecture?
So card sorting is like a technique that we use to do information architecture. Remember, I said information architecture is arranging your content so that users can find them. So as a user, you know where you want to keep. So just like you trying to furnish a house, right? You know where you need to keep your TV. So if somebody is suggesting to you that this is where you need to keep it, if it's something that you like, you quickly agree because you know that at every point you can go and check it, you can go and find it. So the whole goal of information architecture is to be able to find something where where you want it to be or where your users. So once I come to your platform, I don't need to stress myself. I should be able to see everything I'm looking for. So and remember that you're building for your users. Always put this in mind. You're not building for yourself or you're not designing for yourself. You're designing for users. So card sorting will help your users tell you where they want home button to be, where they want signing to be, and all of that. Do you get?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. So for information architecture, right, we'll be leaving Figma and we'll be going to FigJam. So this is where we do our information architecture. So if you're coming in for the first time, just close all of these and then I'm going to rename this. Remember that I've been doing for food delivery app. And this is it. So now what you need to notice about information architecture, right? You are thinking of the different features that you can have on the platform. So now first thing I'll do is to pick up a rectangle. So I've explained this part, right? Can you guys still hear me like this? Like, is it very loud?
Yes,
No,
yes,
it's
we can
not
hear you.
Okay. So that means I need to hold this thing like this, almost. Okay. So now this is it, right? This is my FigJam. We've already talked about all of these tools. This is your marker. This is your
Sorry,
stick.
please. How did you go to the fig jam again?
On your Figma board, you would see new where you have new files. You see new FigJam file. This is it. New FigJam. This is
Yeah,
Figma.
I have it. I actually don't have it on my
You don't have it on your this thing. I don't think that's possible.
yes.
Can you share your screen?
I have the share. I have the share, then I have the profile this thing. Then I don't
So
have any other.
so this is what you are looking at. This is where you're looking at on your design itself. This, right?
Okay, yes, that's what I have.
So go back to your files. So this is it. Click on this Figma icon. You see the
Oh,
drop down. You
okay.
see go back to files. Once you go back to files, you'll be able to see your design file and FigJam board.
Oh, okay.
So now the first thing to do is to pick up your rectangle, right? Is this a rectangle or a square? Okay, pick up your rectangle. You get to pick up your square and turn it to a rectangle or anything you want to do. So now the first thing is I'm going to call this a website, or I'll call it the name of my app. Let me see, the name of my platform is Food Find. That's the name of my platform. So this is the first thing. This is it. So what are the things do I need to have under Food Farm? Now, for information architecture, right, I will duplicate this by pressing Ctrl D. So then I will drag this one and I will bring it down here. And then I'll put my home. This is supposed to be my home, right? Home. And under home, after home, what do I want to have again? The next one will be I'll duplicate it, the same thing, and I'll do restaurants. Restaurants. I'll still duplicate it, then I'll.
Sorry, your voice is fainted.
Okay, my voice. Can you hear me now?
Oh, better now.
Oh, okay. So I said now these are the features I want to have on my food delivery app, right? Remember that I said for my research or for my user flow, right? I said my users, right? My user wants to be able to have variety of food. And this is how I'll arrange it. So I have my home, I have my restaurant. What would this be? This can be menu. That's my food menu. So let me see if anybody is understanding this. With what I'm doing so far, what do you think this is? For people that have been visiting websites, what do you think this is?
You're trying to build a website for a restaurant or food, a food company.
Yeah, I know. I mean, what do you think this home, restaurant,
That's my
menu, cart means?
I guess
Like
they are
a
just
live
like
The menu.
Yeah, they are like my nav bar, right? For instance, now I go to kuda.com. You see these things. This is what I'm listing so far. The first one is the food, the logo, right? That's the, what's it called? The food farm that I did. Now the next one is all of these things, all of this nav bar. That's what I'm listing. Do we agree?
okay. But what I want to ask is, okay, this is understandable that okay, you are doing this for a website. So what if it is an app? So how will the
If it's an app, if it's an
yeah?
app, so let me just show you something on Figma immediately so that you know. We've not got into that design part, but if it's an app, this is how it's going to look. Or do I have any mobile app that I've done here? So let me look for a mobile app. Okay, so I'm not the one that did this. It's one of my students. Okay, let me use this. This is better. This is from community. Now, look at this, right? If it's an app, this is where it will be represented. Home. What do we have here? We have home, restaurants, menu. Then when I get to this part, I'll just make here more. More. You get that if I have plenty that can't
Yeah.
enter all, I'll just make that more. So all of those other ones that will be listing here will go on that more. So you now see how it's done.
All right, that's fine.
Okay. So after cart, what do you think I need to have? Something like a checkout. And then let me duplicate this tracking. Oh, so these things are not equal. So I'll make them equal. Okay, they are all equal. So these are the food tracking, right? Tracking. Under tracking, what do I have again? This can be order tracking. and I'd have something like user profile. What do I need to have again? Help and support. Help/support. And then I would have the last one, which I would want to have, let's say, notification. So all of these might not enter my navigation. You know why? Because it's much. So how many do I have here? I have 4 here. I have 4 here. That's 9. So now this is what I'll do, right? I'll bring this food to this, and then the next thing is I need to use a line to link them. So what I'll do is I'll come here and I'll pick up a connector and I'll drag from here and I'll put it here. And I'll do the same thing. I'll come here, I'll drag from here and I'll put it here. So I've connected this to this. So you can still use more, what is it called? Is there any message from you on the group chat? Okay. So you can still use, hello?
I didn't. Where did you get the connector from? I didn't see.
Okay, so let me delete it and start back. So this is a connector. So under your shape, right? Once you click on shape, you can see a connector, you can see a straight line. So I just picked up a connector, then came to this place, just drag to where I want it to stop. And I'll do the same for this. Drag to where I want it to stop, and that's it. So now you can use straight lines, right, to drag from here to here. To actually connect everything together. Well, let's leave the other one. So I can still do the same thing for this. Can still do the same thing. That's linking this to this. You can see it. I'm linking all. So let me delete this one. I want it to be straight. Okay. So it's not as neat that as I want it to be again. So but the truth is I know what's okay, so this is the only one that is not neat. Sorry. So so I'm just going to pick it up from here and pick it up from here. So, so I've linked everything. Now, one thing I like doing, or one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give each a different color. So I'm going to give each a different color. So if I come here, you would see the color. I'll pick up a different color, and I'll do same for all. For those of you that like color, right, you would like this part. So the reason why I'm giving it different color is so that because they have multiple of classification, right? They have different things. Let me come to this part here. Um, is this white? Says black, and the last one. Right. Now I have all of this. So under home, what do you think I need to have? If you understand this. So under home, if I just click here, right, it's going to give me a shape and I can just drag this up. What do you think I need to have under home? Like this. Under this, under personal, I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this. So that's what I'm trying to do, right? Under home, I'm going to have something like featured restaurants. Remember that this is my home page that I'm going to be designing. So once you start designing, right, you understand all of this. We have this under home. What again? So what I can do here is, I can make all of this. I can bolden all of this, right? Bold, bold, just to show that these are like bold. So to fasten everything off, I'll highlight all and make it bold. So for this, I'll reduce the size a bit. This is 16, so I'll make it 14. And let's see if I can feature the restaurants. Then I can duplicate this. So drag it off to. Under this, what do I have to have? Popular. Remember that most times the home page is an explanation of everything that you have on the app. So I know that some of you will be seeing this and you'll be wondering why I have this instead. So on straight line, I'll get a line to this place and push it in. Yeah. So these are the special offers. So on the search bar, what again can I have use under home?
Can I have a promo?
Yeah, I can have promo, then I can just have user profile. That's if the person is logged in. User profile, and then I'll put if logged in. So that's everything I want to have under my home. Mine might be different from yours, right? You get. So we might not do the same thing. So I'll just duplicate this because I don't want to so I'll delete this one and I'll just so all I will do is delete this thing. All I'll do now is I'll just change the color of this, right, to the original color. And then for under restaurants, what do I have to have? Let's see, all restaurants. Now let's look at Jumia. Let's use our home to look at Jumia foods. I don't know if they have their websites. Under Jumia Foods home, um, Which other food delivery app do you know? Chowdeck. Chowdeck, yeah. Okay, so theirs is on their app, right? Well, on their app, right, you can see that all of these things that I'm listing down, right, in this place where we have feature restaurant, popular cuisines, see them here. Feature restaurants that's handpicked for you, restaurants around you. If you open the app and check, you'll be seeing all of those things done. Then on our own, I said we should have a search bar. So there will be like a search bar, just where you have this search bar, right? It will be listed here, and then you'll see all of these things. So do you now understand the concept very well? I want to be sure that you understand the concept, because this one is as easy. Doing this on FeedJam is easy, but understanding the concept is the most important one. Under all restaurants, what you have is filter, filter by I can see have search bar there, then I can have something like a sort. Guys, are we following? Do we understand?
I'm
Hello,
following.
we are too quiet too.
Yeah, we're following, but I
Yeah, what
just
is
feel
the
that
magic you are
it's
creating?
it's going to be a lot
Magic
of research.
It's
is not
Just that
the
it's going to be
everything is looking like magic to me, but don't mind.
okay. So let's take it to once more before it looks like magic. All right, I'm now I can now answer your question. Which part is looking like magic?
Okay, I'm understanding how you are getting the shapes, the arrows, and everything. Maybe the context, and that's what I'm still going to get used to.
Okay, so I said like the thing is I'm expecting all of us at this point, right? One of the things you should be doing as a product designer is you should be visiting more websites. You should be visiting more mobile apps. So open do you have Jumia Food? Even if you don't have or Child Deck, just go and download it now. If you don't have, download it now so that you would understand what I'm doing with my content. I said that one of the ways to be able to arrange your own information architecture is by looking at your competitors, right? So I don't have Child Deck on my phone, but I'm getting Child Deck now.
You say it's child duck. Can you say that again?
Child Deck, Child Deck.
Child, child.
Yes. Let me spell it on the chat.
Can you spell it? Okay.
What's the name? Child Deck. Guys, have you downloaded Chowdeck? Guys, have you done it? Hello.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, some of us have it already, so maybe just download them.
All right. So okay. So now, if you open Chowdeck, right? What can you see on the first page? Now let me show you what I can see. The first thing you can see there is where they have their your address, right? And then you can see restaurants, supermarket, pharmacies, African, and more. If you click on that more, you see drinks, LG. So now let's say we are doing this for Chowdeck. I would have to put home here. I have restaurants, I have supermarkets, I have pharmacies, I have African, I have more. I can have home, I can have search, I can have orders and all of that. Then under it you can see under the home, right? You can
Wait, but,
see
is it Chowdeck food delivery we are downloading? I'm seeing food
yes,
delivery.
no, like Chowdeck, the first app, right? So under home, right, you can see all of these things that I've listed. Mine is feature restaurants. There's a part where they have restaurants. Under it, they have supermarkets. So I can put supermarket here. I can put pharmacy. I can put African dishes. I can put more. Then under it, I still have what's it called? Explore. Under explore, I have unpicked for you. That's food unpicked for you. We still have featured restaurants. featured restaurants that I have here, right? Then there's all restaurants. There is what again? If you scroll down, right, you see different things. So for you to understand information architecture, all this content that they have here is what you're bringing out and you're putting it down. So let's wait for every other person to download chat deck.
Sorry, Miss Boma, I want to ask a question.
Okay, yeah, sure.
For those of us that are not doing food, are we supposed to be doing all this? I mean for the child deck thing.
Yes, information architecture is for every application you're building.
No, no, I know, I get. I'm asking, are we supposed to also do for food? Or we are supposed to
No,
do
no, no,
we
no,
are
no, no,
supposed
no,
to
no.
do
No, you're not doing
okay.
for food, right? I'm just using food because I've started with food since yesterday for mine.
Okay.
Yeah, on my Play Store, I'm seeing child deck food delivery, child deck rider, and child deck mentor.
For child deck food delivery, that's what you're downloading.
Oh, okay. Then on the website, giving a long list for someone to sign in.
Yes, you can sign in or continue as a visitor.
Yeah, as a guest, right?
Yes.
Enter a new address. Is it our email address?
Like, no, your house address.
My house address. Okay.
Yeah. Hello, sir. Yeah, good morning, sir.
Please mute your mic. Mute your mic. Who is that? Is it Idris? Mute your mic. Please, oh, someone should order offered rice for me.
I was thinking you order. So I
Yeah, not
just
yet.
I was thinking she was going to order, but yes, right. So this is what I'm trying to explain to you, right? For information architecture, it's for you to be able to get it very well is look at all the content. So let's say if I'm doing for child deck, right? All of these things I can see, I'm going to write it down here. What can you see on child deck? You can see restaurants, right? On the homepage, you can see supermarkets, you can see pharmacies, you can see African dishes, you can see more. Under it, you can see explore. Under explore, you have Domino's store, Chicken Republic, all of those things. But I'm not saying you should write all these ones. Then you can see a section called and picked for you. Under and picked for you can see Mega Chicken, Aji, Jaffe, Labule. You can see the place. You can see pepper rice, you can see belleful, squids, all of those things. But the most important thing is the heading. Remember what we said about the principle of classification. This is the heading, and under it, they now have Ugudu, all of those other restaurants. If you come again, you see featured restaurants where you have Chicken Republic, you have Cold Stone, you have Popsicles, you have Board Sticker, you have so many things, right? But they are classified under featured restaurants. Under all restaurants, you have cravings and more. You have different ones, and then there's a page for, remember what someone suggested when we were doing this. Someone suggested that I should include promo code, but you can see that there's a space for referral code, so you can see included there referral code. What again can you see? That's all. And the next thing is they are just listing all the food vendors that they have. Now, if you go to, this is for home, right? If you go to search, under search, you can see a search bar. You can see pastries, breakfast, and all of that. If you click on search, right? And let's say I click on search and I say Ofada. Do you know that different Ofada will come out? You see Ofada Yavatek, Unilag, Ofada porridge, pounded yam, this. Then you see the you see the filter. If I click on different filter, you see the different filter, right? All of this you have this and that. So if you click clear filter, everything will go. If you click on one of the food, what are you going to see? You're going to see the different food stuff, right? And all of that. If I go to orders, I'll see all my orders that I've created. That if I have order. So what do I need to put there now under order? Ongoing order. Under order now I'll put, you can see order, but this is order tracking. Under that, I'll put ongoing order, completed order. That's the only thing I can see. If I go to support, under support, I can see start a conversation. I can see send a message. I can see all of those things. And then if I go to my profile, under my profile, I can see profile details, address, wallet, referrals, gift cards, and all of that, and so on and so forth. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Do
we
you
are
now
good.
understand? Do you now understand how we create information architecture?
Yes, yes.
So now the reason why it's looking like I was creating magic is because I already know most of the things you'd see on any website. So to help you more, right, look at website, download mobile apps. Sometimes you don't need it to do anything. Now I've told you to download Child Deck. Is it that you use Child Deck for anything? You might use it in future, but not necessarily now. But you're using it to see how they organize their things. If I want to create this for Kuda Bank, right, or any bank, if I open the bank app, under my home, I can see recent transfer. I can see spend, save, borrow, and invest. I can see recent transfer. Then under send, I can see beneficiaries. I can see recent send. I can see transfer send to bank account. I can see send to username. Under payment, I can see airtime. That's buy airtime, internet, TV, electricity. I'll see pay ID, USSD, POS, ATM, business, lifestyle, all of these things. It's just to be listing all of these contents that you see here. That's it. Under my cards, I can see get a card, show card details, block card, manage card, and all of that.
Uh, Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. Under the part that has categories, there are other categories, Italian food and others. So how would group them? Will we set
How will you do that?
another
So
PC for them, or we
this
just
is
put
how you do
categories?
that. Look, this is how you do them, right? You know that under this, right, you'd have plenty categories. So I can decide to now duplicate this, right? Control D, and I'll come here and I'll see this will now be the smaller version of this. Under categories, I can have just like child deaths. Under this feature restaurants, I can have the place. The place is a restaurant, right? And it's a category. So all I need to do is to just link this or let me delete this link that I just did. I'm not going to link it from there. So I can just bring this down and I'll duplicate this and I'll say Chicken Republic, Chicken Republic, let me just put Chicken Republic. I would understand. What other restaurants do we have? Labule, Labule. What other restaurant do we have? Name them for me. Or Father Boy. And then I have all of this. This is what I'll do, right? Because it's categories, I'm going to change the color to be the lighter version of this color. And then I'll link it from here. I'll link it from here, right, to this. Or I don't, anyhow you want to link it. So this is how I've linked mine. And I can now move this away. You can see how I'm doing my categories.
So you just highlight them. You don't need to group for you to change the color of all the shapes,
No,
right?
no. Just highlight them and change the color. So what I did is I still use the same color, but you can see under every color you have the lighter version. This is orange, this is light orange. So I just use the lighter version of it. So is there any other question? So under popular cuisines, I can still do the same. So because of that, I'm just going to move this a little upward and so that I would have space, and then I can just duplicate and bring it down here. And for this will be this one. So I'll just drag it to this. You can see, and I'll now put rice, um anything you want to start putting here. All of these classification things that you can classify under popular cuisines can be it
Yes.
can be ice cream, because all of these things are food, right? Yes, they are all food. It can be spag and so on and so forth. You just list them, categorize it. So sometimes you don't even need to draw these things like this. You can just move it down here and just use a one line to just link it so that you can have more space. We are clear on this, right?
Yes, we are.
Are we now understanding the concept on how to get it? The main issue is to understand how to get it. So for me now, I'm not even done with this. I'm just done with what I need to have there. So under menu, what do you think I need to put on that menu? Let's see if we are fully now. So this is like you designing a food menu online. So under menu, right? Let me copy this, Control D, and then bring it down here. Under this, so I'll just change this color to my green. Under menu, I can have restaurant name and logo. So that's under my menu. I can have the restaurant name slash logo. What can I have? I can have categories such as starters, main meal. Have you?
Yeah, different this thing.
So let's check food menu online. This is how almost all restaurants menu used to be. You can see starters. You can see these, that. Let's see. Okay. But then if you check all these Instagram menus, you see is seafood or core, all of those things. So let's say I have categories. So that means I'll still have a subcategory under categories where I will have to put starters, main meal, dessert. Then I can have the food name, the dish name. What again can I have under this? I can have quantity selector and so on and so forth. So let me just end this at here. So that you know that it must not be that all must be long as this. No, some can be just one line. Some can be one, some can be all. This some can be longer. Under cards, what do you think we can have under cards? Under cards, right? We can have the list of all the dishes that they've gotten. We can have quantity, we can have total price, we can have apply coupon, and then we can have proceed to checkout, right? Under checkout, we can have address.
And
Go and check. Yes, go and check.
adjusting the
Yes, quantity adjustments. You can have order summary and you can have place order tracking. You can check how long it will take for delivery. All of these things you can see it on Child Deck, right? Under notification, under help and support, what can you have? FAQs, contact us, reports. Under settings, what can you have? Account settings and language preference. Under about us, you can have app information or website information, privacy policy, and all of that. So it's just to now start filling in all these things here. So our first task before break, this is 10:30, right? Our first task before break is use Google Docs, right? I'll give you 30 minutes to check out your competitors, right? Look at all the contents they have on their app or their website, or just write it on Google Docs first. Don't bring it here. So this is what I want you to do. If I come to Google Docs, this is Child Deck. Oh, this is Child Deck. Okay, so come to Google Docs. You know what I want us to do, right? This is Google Docs. You just need to list them like this. So if yours is home, you have home, about us, contact us, login, sign up. So this is the first thing, right? So this is the first thing. So now under home, you can now start putting all the things you want to do under home. Under home, you can have something like popular, for instance, if it's a music app, popular artists, featured artists, song of the year, song of the month, and so on and so forth. Just list all the items or all the features you want to have on your application. So is that clear? On mine, these are all the features, right? I think I wrote them somewhere. Let me just copy all that I need to have and show you.
Sorry,
So
Miss Mama,
something.
please.
Yeah.
Miss Mama, please.
Yes.
Please, I didn't get the classwork.
So I want you to all of these contents, right, for your application, be able to bring them out. All of these things. Do we understand information architecture? If we do, what I want us to do now is to bring out all of the content. So let me paste mine on the WhatsApp group chat for you guys to see all my content. So this is my own information architecture for all, is on the website for all the things that you can see here. Home, menu, restaurants. All right, so do we get it now? Or we are still confused?
Miss Mama, I'm a little bit confused, but I will try. I will try.
Oh, okay. So let's take it like this. Do you know the app you want to build or the website you want to build with your idea? Remember that the goal of this whole thing is that we'll get to build an app at the end of the day, or we'll get to build a website. Now, all of those things you want to see on the website, all of those features, that is what you're listing out here with information architecture. Now, I said go and look at your competitors. If you have any competitors, my own is food delivery app, and for Chowdeck is my competitor. I've downloaded the app. If you check Chowdeck and you check all of these things that I have here, there's no difference. So what I want you to do is to list out all. Okay, now let's not use something that is hard, right? Let's not use something that is hard. I want you to use this 30 minutes to interact with Chowdeck and bring out all the things you can see in their app. When I mean bring it out, I mean write down all the content you can see in their app. If I go to profile, under profile, I can see personal details. If I click on personal details, I can see account name, phone number, email, date of birth. So just list out all of those things as you're clicking on each item first of all. So let's do child deck first. If you're able to bring out everything in child deck, then we can now move to your own application.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's understand that first. If you click on address, delivery address, you can see a search under it that's enter a new address. You can see current address and you can see all of those things. So just interact with child deck and bring out all the things you can see. So click each, but I'm not saying you should just go and look at it. Click each menu, click on each items to see what is there. Click on restaurant, see restaurants. Click on supermarket, see what is under supermarket. And this is what I want us to do now.
We'll type it on Google Doc, right?
Yes, just type it on Google Docs, just like this. Type them out all on Google Docs.
Okay.
So let me hear from 1 or 2% what information architecture is, if you've been able to grasp how to come about it. I've seen some of you's work on this, and yes, that's exactly how you need to do it. The only difference is, or the only thing about it now that is that after you're done with all of this, you should now be able to list them out like this, create them, arrange them where each is supposed to be. Under this, what is supposed to be under it. After this, what is supposed to be under it. So let me just hear from 2% before we move to user flow. If you did not understand it before, but now you understand it, let me see your hand. You can raise your hand on Zoom. Okay, 2%. Just 2%.
Good afternoon.
So I'm trying to check just 2%, 3 now. Just 3 out of 21. No, 4. 4. True, okay. So the rest of you that did not indicate anything, you still don't understand it.
I understand you.
Oh, okay. So now if you're asked to do that for your own app, you'll be able to do it, right?
Yes, ma.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So that's going to be like your assignment, right? Uh, that's your assignment. If you can use that to create your own app. So now let's look at user flow. Please, let's try to finish all of this today, right? So that by tomorrow we'll get to
Sorry, ma'am. Are we just creating it in that rectangle only?
are we doing what?
Are we creating it using
Miss Boma, you are mute. Oh. You are on mute.
Okay, so I'm asking, can anybody hear me? I did not hear what he said.
I didn't hear what he said either.
Oh, okay. All right, so let's wait to hear what he said. So what did you mean?
I think the question basically is that when he said that so we can do it for assignment. So he's trying to ask that are we going to put it in that like the boxes, or we'll just list out the information architect in that, like the way we listed out as Google Docs, or we're going to design on Figma like that. I think that's what he's
Oh,
trying to
okay.
ask.
Oh, okay. You're going to design it on FigJam, right? Is the design that is the main thing. So once you're done designing it on FigJam, this is what we do. We just highlight everything like this as it is, and then we'd right click and say export selection. So once you click on export, you can now export it as PNG or JPEG, and then you can export it with, is there going to be a background or not? So for this, we'll do solid background, and you can export it, that's all.
But
So
you have to group them first, right?
no, you don't need to group anything. So you just need to highlight like this, just like this, A to Z, and right click and see export selection, and that's it.
So I have a question. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
This one we are doing now, can we also use it for an app, or it's just for websites only?
No, it's for an app, website, anything at all. Remember that for most companies, right, what is on their website is mostly what is on their app.
So
You
you don't
get?
have to create another one like
No,
we.
no. Now this is where it is, right? If what is going to be in your app is different from just like Kuda now. For instance, if you go to Kuda, what is on Kuda's app on their website is not what is on their app.
Okay,
Under their
sorry to
oh,
cut you.
okay.
Yeah. I just posted the attendance.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah. Thank you so much, Boma.
You're welcome.
Yep.
All right, you can fill your attendance. Let me not distract you. Are we done with the attendance?
Almost.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Is it the same thing we highlighted? Is it the same thing we highlighted on the group that would also use for our own app? No, it's not the same thing. Your own app would have different things depending on what you're doing, right? So what you people did on the group is for food. For what's it called? For your own individual app, you would have different things that you have to list. So just know the category that your app is. We have fintech, we have transportation app, we have so just try to know the name and check for it. If I go online now and I say fintech apps, fintech apps, you would see them, see all the fintech companies in Nigeria. So look at all of them. You can now start, they have like 20. You can now look at the one that you want to use as your competitors to now work. If you go and say food tech apps, you would see them. Or food delivery. See them on Google. You can see all the food delivery. We have Chowdeck, Jumia, Burger King, Oya Now, Kui, Killing Meals, Jazzy Burger. You can see more. These are there. If you want to now see which other one else. Everything you have, you can get them on Jumia. You can see the different health apps that you have. Nigerian Health Tech. Even though some of them, they are not here.
Sorry, Boma. I just wanted to ask, like, if we are trying to determine a competitor, basically, so let's say, for instance, like you're trying to build an app for a BLT, and looking at market, basically, I try to look at it as, okay, which organization or a company does exactly the same thing. But you can only find one. But somehow you also realize that most of the features that you are going to need, you can also see them on app like Uber, Bolt, and all of that. But they are not exactly a competitor, basically, because they are providing for services for people that have individual cars, and you are looking at a BRT buses that is owned by, whereby the market is quite different from the market that Uber also. So could you possibly say that in that situation now, could you possibly say that Uber boats are likely a competitors, since you are also going to use some of their features, like you're going to use some of their features in your own app, basically?
Yes, so you know that when we talk about competitors, right, we have both direct and indirect competitors. So the direct competitors are those ones that you know that they are doing almost everything you're doing. That's for the direct competitors. And then for the indirect competitors, there are people that you might see some of their features and like it. And so there's no harm. Let's say, for instance, recently Chowdeck brought up this new feature, which is pay for me. I beg now, that's what they call it, pay for me. So I can decide to order a food, right? And I don't want to pay, and I decide to send it to somebody to pay for me. I just need to share the link. That's something that happens on fintech app, where you can send money to people. You can create a link and people can send money to you, like Flutterwave can create a link for yourself and people will be sending money to you, right? And they have to integrate it. So if you see any feature that you want to integrate, you might not see most of your direct competitors. Just know the features that you want, the benefits of other people using your app, those things that you need to list down. I think the issue here is most of us have not even come down to understand the problem we want to solve. If you don't understand the problem you want to solve, that's why we are having this issue. But say I understand the problem I want to solve, like I understand I want to solve something in what's it called? In transportation. What
Yeah.
are the features I want people to do? One of the things I would have in my head is I want people to be able to book a ride easily, right? I want them, let's say I want them to be able to pay. I want them to be able to, just like Uber, you can pay with cash, all of that. Okay, but let's say now, because it's not easy, I want them to be able to pay with let's say gift card. That's a good feature that Uber don't have. Let's say I win a card online and I want to book Uber. There should be no restriction. I should be able to use that card to book Uber, right? Or someone sent me a gift card abroad. That's a feature that you can now implement in your own app that is making you better than others. So the first thing I think we are having issues in this class is that we've never understood our problem, the problem we want to solve. We don't even know how our competitors they look like. We don't know the features that we want to add in our products, or we don't even know. If I ask you what's the overview of your product, you don't know what you want to solve with it. There are so many things, like I said, that
I think I know mine.
Oh, okay. So you know yours, and I agree. But I'm just saying this in general now. You know that there are sometimes that you know what you want to solve. Most of the things I have in my head, I don't know how it's going to be. One thing you need to note is if you open your eyes, right? If you start opening your eyes and see some features, you might not even see it online. But it's just for you to not think of the design. I showed you one of my work where it's just what the man told me. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And then I start thinking of how it will work in design. And that's where it came, all of these things came out for.
Well, thanks for your response. I think I've been able to grab.
Yeah, so you can use different apps, right? And
Yeah.
see their features. So when I'm designing, this is one thing I do. I don't look at I don't have one particular app I use. So let's say I want to design something like a setting feature. I'll come to Google and I'll say settings, or I'll look at any app that is not even related. Settings UI. I'll look at any app that is not related. I need settings in my account, right? In my design. And these are examples of settings. This is an example. I might just decide to use this example to design my own. That's for website. If it's for, what's it called? This is for mobile app, right? This is how setting party looks like. If you go to Child Deck now, check their setting. Is it different from what you can see here? I want the response, guys.
If we check, what is it different?
I say if you check Child Deck, the settings that they have here, is it different from what is here?
No.
Yeah, it's just some of the things. The thing is, the ones that they don't need, they removed it and they added their own. So you first of all need to know, because if it's designed, how the design appears is almost same everywhere. This is settings design. Anywhere you go to, you would see settings design. It's either you see it like this or you see it like this. And once you click on edit profile, this is the next thing you'll see. So you just need to know them. Or if I say I want to design food delivery app UI for the home page, let's say the home. What you saw on Child Deck and what is here, is there any difference? The only difference is in arrangement. That is the only difference, is in arrangement. Why them they listed their own as boxes, these people did it as a line. So there's no difference. If you anything you want to design. So let's say Fab, remind me your app again. Let me think of a word for it.
It's an errand app.
Okay, errand app. Errand app UI. Can you see?
Yes.
I think let me open one. Let me go to, is this on Drizzle? This is on Drizzle. Okay. Yeah, let me show you your competitors. Okay, these are not really your competitors per se. What they do is mostly delivery service, and you can see them. So let me go to errand app. Okay, this is an example. This is a full example. Service hiring. This is I think this is an example of what you want to do for.
Okay.
Users might be inconsistent, blah 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 blah. Let's see the designs. You can see their empathy map is here.
Yes.
You can see their user persona is here.
Yeah.
User story is here. User customer journey map. Have I taught this? Yes, it's here. You can see their competitive analysis.
Yes.
You can see their user flow. Now that's the next thing we are going to, right? You can see their information architecture. Is it here or not? Is here. So to tell you that everything I'm teaching us is something we need. All right, let's see the main app. Let's see the main app, right? All of these are from their data. Let me see the main app. Call of alert, Dave. So this is the first thing. If you come here for errand, right, you will see the kind of errand you want. Popular service, repairs, driver, saloon, electrician. Then you can see the different things. This is not majorly on their information architecture. You can see that they have location on top. They have notification.
Yeah.
You see how they designed it. There's a filter. There's a search. You can see the book part. You can see the pro feature if you want to become a pro person. You can see their service, the popular service that they have here. You can see their recommended services. Then you can see their videos to help them. Then you can see refer. Now this is their navigation. If you want to book somebody, all you need to do is to look at the person's profile, the job that the person has delivered, about the person, and then you can decide to book the person. So depending on the approach you want to take, if your approach is to get housemaids, so all you need to do is to profile different housemaids, their age, the kind of works they've done in the past, and how much for them, right? How much they can use
Yeah.
to order them. And that's it. These are the screens. You can see this setting screen. Is it this different from what we saw online? You can see their sign up. You see all of these things. So these are how to really understand what you want to do first. Understand each of the section, the features. Their major feature here is wash your car, do this, do that. You can see the feature. And if you still decide to check for more, let's say errand app, if you decide to check for more, you still see more. Delivery and errand app. This is okay. This is the one I was looking for. So you can see this is their delivery one. Then for the errand, these are their services, the kind of service you want. You can see all of these things. So for Fab, you already have an inspiration that you can
Yes,
follow
sir.
for your design. So let me send you the link. Let me send you the link on what's on this thing. Where is this place? Okay. So which other person in this class wants me to get their own app for them?
Yeah.
Something
Give
for
Ma,
me
their
education app.
what?
ma, education app.
I am here for
And
education.
teenager app, please.
All right, no problem. We'll get it ourselves. So let's say education app, education UI or app.
Education.
Yeah, I'm doing education now. You can see education. It's called Practica. By now this is a Nigerian own. You can see for education, this is mostly for learning, right? Like they'll teach children. I don't really like this. Why this is good, I really don't like it. You see, when I said people should do interview, have you done it? You can see the how this person created an interview response, included the person that she interviewed, the kind of question and the responses. You can see the user flow, information architecture, can see all of these things, but I don't think I like this app per se. So let me go to another one. So I can just say edutech app. See different educational app. Gigi Pro. Okay, I like this. Digital skill for education at your tip. You can see, just see their competitive analysis. Who are your competitors? Udemy, Coursera, Khan Academy, and all of those ones. User persona, customer journey map, empathy map, information architecture, low fidelity wireframe, and you can see their login, their sign up. Now this is the main part. This is their dashboard where they have the first design, then they have all of the courses. If you click on a particular course, this is how it will show where you can play video, people can chat. So depending on what you can see, let me copy this and send. So you can see that this is Viant. You can have different sorry. Let me copy this. Copy. Oh, why is it not pasting? I'm coming. I'll face this. All right. So the next one. Let
Ma,
me just
please,
look for the next one, right? Which
please look
one?
for teenager therapy app
So therapy. So I just look for therapy app.
for teenagers.
Ma,
No,
some
you
chats
don't.
are in the option.
Oh, okay. So I'll check the chat. So you can call it a mental health at therapy pal, any of them. So let's check this mental health. I have a question. I'm trying to speak. Okay, it's not this one. Bookstores, software and product testing app, beauty app, fertility app. Okay. So let's check. This is for therapy. You can see how their own page is, right? This is going to guide you actually. Home screen. You can see our home screen. She just included the therapist name, the mentors that are available that you can speak with. That's the type of mentors and all of that. So depending, the truth is with time we'll get to know the kind of, now you can also do filtering, right? The kind of things that you want the topics that you want your students to be getting or the teenagers to be getting. This is so you can use this, but I wouldn't say this is entirely okay. With time, you get to see more. So, guys, these are things that you can search for yourself online, right? Um, Let me paste this one first. So let my WhatsApp load. So let's go back to see if we see another one for mental health. This is another one, online therapy app. This is another one. This is another one. So which one will I use? Let me use this Nigerian one. With me. You can see talk to a therapist, find this, find a friend. It's an online mental health app where users can look for suitable therapists, whatever mental challenges that they are going through. They can be matched with a therapist after taking a mental assessment. This you can see your role, what did you do, all of that, quantitative research, user persona. Sorry guys, I need to take this call. Okay, sorry guys. So you can see his user persona. This is a female car that travels a lot, but is always depressed. What are his goals? All of those things. Now let's go straight to the app. Empathy map. You see it. We've done it. All of these things are not new. You can see the information architecture, home search, this, that. They have even given you example for the therapy person. And then you see the wireframe, all of that. Let's see how the app is. With the app, you can see the onboarding. You can see the home screen. The first one is to talk to a therapy, find a friend. You see the different therapists here. Once you click on on a particular therapist, you'll be able to see the therapy. But since it's thin, I don't know if it's going to be free or paid. Find a friend too. You can see how it is. You can see the different things that you can do with it. So let me fix this first. And after this, guys, any other person, you get to check for yours because it's Beyonce. Okay. Hello?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes, sorry, guys. So you can, have I sent the second one? I've sent one to the group, right?
Ma'am, please,
Let me,
software product testing app.
oh, no problem. I'll check for that one for you. And after that, we'll call it a day for, oh, hey, I did not check the other one. So, all right, so let's go. Testing app, software testing app. Did I start recording when we started this class? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I needed to be sure. Oh God, these people. Okay, so maybe the thing I used is not the right keyword or tester. So say tester app. Okay, product testers. So let me just use the word product testers. Product testers. Loan app. All right, so for this, let me come to Google first. Product testers. You can see them. So if you can't see something directly, right, this is one thing you can do. Now, this is, I've seen different apps. You can see them, Smiley 360, user testing. You can download all of this app. You can download all of these apps to see how their this thing is. Tester UI / UX. Renting power bank, medical. So for beauty app, right, I've seen something for you. This is for makeup. So you can use this one to get something like, to get what you want to get for beauty app. For beauty app, I think that's it, right? Let's just, you can, this is Behance, so you can go to Behance and check for yourself. Bookstore and book community. Bookstore app, that one will be very easy to find. Bookstore app. Can you see it? This is an example. But this is not Nigerian, so let's find the one for Nigeria. Ebook app, bookstore app. So there's no app that you've done that somebody have not done it. So I think let's stop here. For the testers, right, I'm going to check for yours. Esther, I've sent yours for beauty app. So you can get that. But these are things that you can check on your own, right? You can check it on your own on Behance. I don't need to check it for you. can check it on Behance. This fertility app. You can even use Flow as an example. So this is fertility app. So let me copy this one. After this one, I think I'm no longer copying any other one. All right, guys, that's it. So we now understand that Hello, this one nobody saying anything.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I respond.
Oh, okay. All right, so let's go to user flow, right? In the morning, we talked about information architecture. We said information architecture is the overall content on a platform, right? So now what is user flow? User flow is just a different part a user will use to interact with your system. Now, let's say, for instance, you have a house that you've just finished building. You have different places in the house. If I want to go outside, let's say I want to go to the backyard, I can either follow the front door and get to the backyard, or I'll follow the back door and I'll still get to the backyard, right? So for user flow, it's those steps that your users take to complete a task. Now let's try to imagine if a user wants to log in. If you're logging in on the platform, what and what do you do?
First thing, I will sign up.
Yeah, if you're signing up, what are the things you use in signing up?
My details, like email address and password.
Okay, so you can see that there are different ways that you would use to get at, right? Email address and password. So all of these things are strategic. All of these flows are strategic, right? You need to follow a particular flow. Now, someone can still get to the app, just like Child Deck, right? For Child Deck, you can still order a food without signing up. So you need to just put the other one, which is order as a guest, that be continue as a guest. So different ways that a user can use to interact with your platform. Now, why is it very important? It will help you to create a very seamless flow for your users. It's going to help you to know the existing interface and how it works. And it's going to help you present your design as well to your clients. So that's basically what user flow is. So the next thing we'll look about user flow is how to create a user flow. So just the way you have information architecture, right? That's the same way you have a user flow. Now for a user flow, these are different things. First one is entry points. So what are entry points? How do they come into the platform? Just like using the house, the entry point is the door, right? The doors, maybe the back door or the front door. Now, once I enter the house through the back door or the front door, if you check this, you'd see that the different entry points are either via a link, it can be via an application, it can also be from somebody's website or you got into the platform. Yeah, the next thing is the step of completion. What are the steps they need to take? In my house, if I want to get to the kitchen, I need to stand up from anywhere I am, the room or the parlor, for me to now move down to the kitchen. So all of these step of completion might be a login, sign up, onboarding, home screen, navigation screen, settings screen. All of these things are steps of completion, right? And then the final interaction, what are they doing? On food delivery app, the interaction we want them to do is for them to be able to order food. That's the last steps we want them to do, order food. So what are the 3 steps? You need to think of the entry point, and then you think of the steps to completion, and then you think of the final interaction. That's the final thing you want them to do. For what's it called? For teenagers app, you want the teenagers to be able to talk to a therapist or to be able to voice out. All of these things are these. So what are the elements you use in user flow? Remember that in information architecture, we did not talk about any elements. We just talked about information architecture, listing out all the content, and we just use a rectangle. But for user flow, right, we have different elements that we use. Number one is the rectangle. The rectangle is like the most common shape that we use. It's used to represent a screen, a page, a display page. Welcome is a page. Abi, home is a page. Sign up is a page. But there's no action that is to be taken. So for user flow, right, you're using it to show a page, a display page, a display screen for rectangles. Now, are we clear on what a rectangle is used for in user flow? So I want to be taking it one step at a time. So if you're not clear, tell me so that I use other examples to explain it. Is there anybody saying anything?
I'm not too clear of the concept. Yes, thank you.
So you're not clear on what we use a rectangle to do?
No. The concept of
The
that
concept
flow.
of user flow.
Yeah, not the rectangle.
Okay. So think of a user flow as this. So the user flow, unlike information architecture, right? Information architecture, everything on the platform, all the features you want to see, you list it there. Was there any point where we included how a user would use the platform?
Oh, okay. No.
There was no part. But then a user flow is now you being specific about the users. So any process a user will use to complete a task, that is what the user flow is. Now, like I asked a question, how would a user log in? Logging in on any platform, what are the ways you use to log in on the platform? The first thing is you sign up. You click on either sign up or login, right? When you click on sign up or login, the next thing is you have to now put your personal details, your email address, your password, your phone number for you to sign up. And then, but for information architecture, we are not thinking about all of those things. We are just listing all of those other things. So user flow, more like how a user will complete a task. Take it as you build a house today. The whole house is your information architecture. Everything in the house, the room, the TVs, all of those things are the information architecture. Now, just imagine that you want to watch a TV and the TV is in your parlor. You now need to leave your room, maybe probably follow your passage, come out of your passage, open the door. Okay, let's say if you want to get popcorn and drinks, you first of all enter your kitchen, get popcorn and drinks before you now go to the parlor, put on the TV and start watching. You see those steps that you did to get to the point where you watch the TV is the user flow, is your flow. Is this clearer now?
Yes.
Yeah. So any step that a user will take to achieve or to get to achieve a particular thing is a user flow. I should come again with the explanation or what? Sorry. I said a user flow is the steps a user will take to achieve a common task. Now let's try to identify different tasks that can happen in any website. For Jumia, what is a task? What task do you think a user would want to get? Order an item. It's a task. The different steps that a user would follow just to order an item is what we call a user flow. Now, the different shapes in a user flow, we have the rectangle. The rectangle is for display. Rectangle is mostly used for display. What are the things that you can display? You can display a screen. You can see welcome. You can see sign up. You can see login. You can see all of these things are things that you can display. A display screen. There is no action. You just display it. Just like information. Okay, take it as information architecture. These things in information architecture. Menu, home, all of these are display screen. All restaurants, they are all display screen. All these things like this, they are display. So are we together on that one?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the next one is the arrows. We know what we use arrows for. What did we use arrows for in this particular design? In this particular what did we use
To
arrows
link
for?
objects together.
Yes. Yeah, so arrow is using arrows is a connector. We use it to connect or link things together. So anywhere you see your arrows, you know that it's linking. Now for circles, we also use circles in user flow. Circles is used to display an action. Rectangle is used to display, but to display a blank thing, not an action. Now, what are the actions you can see on anything? Something like pay now. Is pay now an action?
Yes.
It is.
Buy
Because
now
you
is
can
an
choose
action.
not to.
Yes. Login is an action, but login can also be a display. Now, when it would be an action, is you've imputed your username and password, and then you want to click the button. So just imagine your circle is used to represent anything that has to do with click the button. What app do I have? Let me see. I have an app called Prosper. Let me open it for you and show you the different action. Now in Prosper, right? If I sign up, this is my Prosper account, and I sign up. So the same thing that is on their mobile app, that is what is on this platform. Now, let's be able to identify different actions that we can see here. Upgrade now, is it an action? Yes, it's an action. Add account is an action. Let's go back to transfer fund is an action. What are the actions that we can get here? Okay. If we go down and down, invoice, if we go under invoice, right, you can see the different invoice that I have created. But then create invoice is an action. Select clients is an action. So you see all of those things, those actions, display, but it has to do with an action. That's what we use what's it called for. So take it that this is an action word. This is a verb. The other one is just the noun where it's just listed. So you use circles for action. Anything that has to do, a step must be taken for you to go to the next stage. That's it. So for you to all of that's circle. Then for diamonds, right? We use diamonds as decision makers. So you know that when you're doing something like a sign up, right? You have something like username and password. If your username is not correct, what is going to happen?
You won't be
You'll
able
be
to log
unable
in.
to log in.
And it will redirect you back, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So when you talk about asking questions, so we use the diamond to be sure of all of those kind of things. So let's say for instance, login, we now say impute your username, impute your password. Now for diamonds, we can now ask something like password correct. Is password correct? If yes, continue to log in. If no, go back. You now link it back to impute the password again. Abby? Now, the same thing for signing up. You have things like already a user, or new user. If you're a new user, that means you have to create an account. If you're an already existing user, what do? You proceed to look. So that's basically it for user flow. Hello guys, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's be sure that we understand. It's clear enough.
Sorry, Miss Boma. I want to ask a question. How
Oh,
can
okay.
I how can I be able to how can I search on Behance for my own niche? What's the keyword again?
So what's your
I think
niche?
education, but I want to look at bookstore, like an electronic bookstore.
I already sent it on the group. I sent yours to the group. The last this thing I sent, I think, is bookstore.
Okay, I'll check.
So
Thank
you
you.
can just do ebook, bookstore, and all of that. You see different ones.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So let's be sure that this user flow is clear. All right. So if it's clear, let's do a user flow for a new or for a user that is coming to your platform. So let's say, let me copy this, right? Control C, and let me bring it down here. And I'll paste it, Control V, and I'll say this is my app, food find, right? So for my food find, now what's the next thing? Remember what I said. So who can help me with what I said about the shifts? What is the rectangle used for?
For display.
For display
this
on a blank space.
display without action, yes. Rectangle,
Yeah.
display without action. Circle,
Display with action.
For
display
action.
with action. Lines,
For linking.
connectors,
For
yeah.
connecting.
Yeah.
Connecting or linking. Which other shape? Diamonds.
Diamond. For actions.
Decision takers or something.
For
decision.
for decision making. So is there anyone we are missing out on? No. People that are listening, there's no one we are missing out on. So that means we need to have all of this. Sorry. So where do you get all of these shapes? You come here. This is our diamonds. This is our circle, and we have our rectangle. So that's it. I'll just give them different colors, and I think I'm done. Sorry, is there a question for me? Alright. So this is fine food. That's welcome. And then let's now move on. So so let's say I enter the app first as a user. Let's do this together. What's the next thing I need to do? Which is what's the next thing I need to do, guys?
Sign up.
Welcome page.
Okay. So same so I'm waiting.
Onboarding screen. Welcome screen.
Yeah. After onboarding screen, what is the next thing?
Maybe input address before login and everything.
Okay. So once the user comes to the platform, right? The first thing the user would get to see, it's like the welcome screen or the onboarding screen. So once you see the welcome screen, what's the next thing I need to do? I need to give to you. So let me link this, right? A new user gets to this. I use the wrong arrow to link. So I'll use this on this connector. A new user gets to
a new user gets to sign up, right? Welcome screen. Then under the welcome, right? What is the next thing a new user needs to do? Then you have something like a sign off, right? For some people, they do it separately, or the words signing. And then let me link this to this, and this to this. I don't like all of this thing that is happening here. Which kind of color is this one? So so there's something that you guys did not notice that I missed. So under welcome, right? We need to have something like a decision first. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
Control
ma'am.
X. So let me cut it. And under welcome, so this should be already a user. Already a user. Already a user. What should we have? And now this is where we have our text of a yes or no. Control D. So you can decide to put the no here or you decide to put it here, depending on how you need space. So I'll say no. So already a user, yes or no. Let me bring in. So let me bring in. Where's my arrow? I'll bring this out, and I'll bring this out too. So now that I have this, I can just move this. This my yes. Yes or no. So this is linking to this, right? Right. Already a user, yes. If yes, what's the next thing the person needs to do? That's sign up.
Sign in.
Yes, sign in. Signing. If no, the person is supposed to
Sign on.
sign off. So push this a bit because you need to connect this. This connector is very important. And same thing here.
So apparently the user flow is just a flow chart.
Yes, yes, it is.
But
So once you put in your signing, what are the things you need to include? So you can just say for signing you need to include email address, you can decide to still extend it, email address, and password, email address, password, and then we can bring a decision here, which is email address correct or personal details correct, or just say correct if we don't want to expand it. This is a question mark. So let me see, why is this thing too small? Correct. So I'll link this to now to it. I'll link this to it, and I'll link this to it. So if these are correct, right, Let me move this inside a bit so that okay. If they are correct, then you proceed to what is it called? So you can do the correct down, yes or no. So I just like duplicating because I already have them, so there's no need. There's no need doing yes, Control D and no. If it's yes, no, let the no be here. Let the yes be here. Let the no be here. If it's not correct, no. What am I going to do? I'm going to link this back to password. I'm going to link this back here, and I can just decide to put re enter details. So because I don't want to elongate it, the enter details. You get. And then if it's yes, what should it be? If it's a yes, then I should have my circle somewhere, which is is it proceed to log in or log in as an action? Are we following? Is there anything?
Yes, ma.
Yeah, so it's login as a password. Then for sign up, you now get to continue just the way we have here. Enter email. What are you going to collect? Email, full name, and all of that. So let me just copy this. Control D, and let me copy this and come here. Okay, so this is it. You can see this, and let me move this a bit forward. So for sign up, we have email or we have full name, all the things you need to ask, email, maybe street address. You include all of those things, street address. Yeah. Are you talking to me?
I can decide not to use your phone number now. Or
Yes, and depending, you're the one that know what you want to ask your users. So anything you want to ask your users, that's what you get to put and all of that. So there's one more for this password side, right? Okay, that's for sign off. Where you get to include password, then you now get to ask things like if the password is strong. You know now, don't tell you put you can decide to list them out here. Password. So you now say is the password strong? Email already exists. All of those tiny things that once you're signing up that don't allow you to sign up, you get to put them here. So are we clear with how a user flow is? So let's say we get to this place. Let me not link it again. We get to this place where we have successfully signed off. What would not be the next thing? Sign off. Let's say we are successfully signed off, and now the next thing can now be the next thing, right? So for sign off, I click on this and put my rectangle. So what's the next thing? The next thing will be to proceed to home. Next thing will be home page. So this is how you can link it, right? For the home page now, let's say your users, is there something that you notice is missing? Because I had to do the linking directly, I had to see this. So I'm going to change this color to my original color so that I know that on my rectangle. So home page, then I can now do maybe buy something. So this is how you can link it. You just be linking it to you. You take your users through the particular journey. Is it understood?
Ma,
Yeah.
I feel like something is missing.
Okay, what's
Forget
missing?
password.
Exactly.
There should be
Forget
a
password
button.
is missing. And forget password is supposed to come
After the input password, I think.
yes, after input password, I can have something like a forget password here. So I'll take Control D and I'll bring it to this place, and I can just link it from here. Sorry, I can just link it from here like this, from here down to this part, and I'll call it forgot password. Is forgot password a display or a decision?
It's a decision, man. I think it's a decision.
Exactly. It's a decision and not a display. So shows that we are all following at this point. Shows that we are following, right? Forgot password. So if you forget password, what is the thing you do? Oh, I need to delete this and bring this here on that password. So let me just link it from here. All right. So anything you are doing, just start linking them up till you arrive at your final destination. What is the limit for user flow? Is it going to be, yes, everything, no. Well, for some people, this is what they do, right? This is what some people do if you check different case study. So I can decide to say, I can decide to carry a rectangle, a V rectangle here, and write it down here. And I would say, let me use large text. I'd say registration user flow. User flow. And so if I'm exporting, right, I'm exporting everything here as registration user flow. And then if I want to now do purchase, that's buying something, I can come here and I would say this is a purchase. If I want to do settings, I can come here down and I'll say this is settings. Or I can decide to link everything together. So I can decide to link everything together just like I showed that platform I showed you. So if you're exporting it, you now export one after the other. So you know what we are going to do. I think we should break it down like this, because if you do all one time, you might end up becoming confused. So you just break it down like that till you arrive. Or if you can link all one side, you just be linking them. So after you complete one, to purchase, just like I'm doing here, you can just enter home page. From home page, you now do search for products. Let's say if it's food, search for Ofada rice. Click on Ofada rice, view the details of Ofada rice, then proceed to add to cart. Then from add to cart, I'll now go to the cart. From the cart, I'll now increase the number of food. Do this. Then I'll order. When I put order, I'll now put my address, email address, password, all the things. I say password, email address. I'll put my delivery address, all of those things. If it's okay, then you now get to finalize it. So, Missy, why are you shouting, Omo? What happened? What happened? So are we clear?
Please, can you just explain just a rundown of sorry, can you just help us run through the explanation again, please?
Okay, of a user flow.
Yes, and the design and how you made it. I was not actually my internet was off then, sorry.
Oh, okay. So I think I will be asking you a question and then we'll get to which app have you used before?
I've used the OPay app. Yes.
OPay app. Okay, can you run me through how you registered on OPay?
Okay, I went to the profile section. Then I saw the
Is that
sign in
how you
button.
registered? No. You first of all downloaded the app.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. After
I just,
downloading the app,
okay, I installed.
okay.
Then upon getting to the app, they asked for my username and password, and if I did not have an account, I should actually sign up,
Okay.
which is what I did by just clicking the button and adding my number and getting a verification code, yes. And after that, I got signed up already.
All right. After you signed off, have you done the transfer with them before?
Yes, I have.
So what are the steps you used in doing the transfer?
Okay. The first step is to pick the bank that I want to send to.
Okay.
Pick the bank. Input the account number, then verify the name. Input the amount that I want to send, and then send.
Okay. So you can see that is that the flow. But if you open the OPay app, you can do different things, right? You can see different things. But the point where you want to now do something, that's when they now took you through the steps. So a user flow are those steps you take to complete a task. So from OPay registration, right, and what we have here, is there anything different? You come to the app first, you see the welcome screen, and then they ask you if you're already a user. If you're already a user, yes, you sign in. Under signing in, you put your email and your password, and then if your email is correct, right, you if it's correct, you proceed to log in. If it's not, you come back and input your password, right? And then still under this, we have the forgot password. If you forget your password, you now need to verify your phone number. After you verify your phone number, you now go. Then if you are not a user, you have to sign up. For signing up, you put your full name, email address, anything you need to put, and then you completely sign up. That if this is correct, if all your details are correct, right, you now move to sign up. I said user flow are like the processes you take to complete a particular task. And for user flow, we have different things that we use, or we have different shapes that we use to show. And one of it is the rectangle to show a display without action, a circle, a display with action, a diamond for decision making. Yeah.
Buma,
Yeah.
sorry. User flow is all about. Let me really understand this. User flow is all about an action a user takes to navigate through the website.
The process, yes, that's it. The process a user takes to navigate through a website is a user flow.
Okay. And these shapes matters, right? When you are creating the user flow.
Yeah, they matter a lot. That's the difference between the user flow and information architecture. For information architecture, you can see that they are all rectangles, nothing. The only thing is each section, depending on what is under it, you use the same color for it. But for a user flow, how are we going to know if it's an action? Once we see a circle, we know that an action is to be taken there. Once we see a diamond, we know that a user needs to take a decision of a yes or no.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So Tomisi, you might not need to design for every section. You can just link all off on one, except you have that time to do this. To link it up, once a user should sign to, let's say, get into the app, right? The first thing is the homepage. From the homepage, if the user wants to send money, then you follow the process to send money, link it up till you get to where you successfully send money, and that and that and that. So you know what is going to happen right now. This is 120. You use the remaining 30 minutes. So I'm going to take questions for 10 minutes till 1:30. The remaining 30 minutes, right? You leave user flow. Don't do it. Information architecture. You already know how to go about it. Some of you have already done yours. So just do it in form of design. Because that way you sent it on the WhatsApp group chat. That's not how we are going to do it. Your system is dead and there is no light. So it only told me that the system is down. So you can send it later in the evening, but I want to see it today.
Ma.
Yeah.
Please, is it for the cow deck or for our own ideas?
For your own idea, right? Do just information architecture, leave user flow.
Okay.
Miss Boma, please, I want
Yeah.
to take an excuse. Maybe
Okay.
I'll try to put my own two in the evening because I'm having
Okay.
power issue. Power
All right,
issue.
no problem. 2
Thank
out
you.
of 20. 2 out of 20. David and Tomisi only. All right, so is there any question? Ask me your questions. Ask me, but let's chill on user flow first. I've already done the user flow. In the night when you're sleeping, all of you when you're sleeping, just start thinking, how will user use my app? And you start thinking once you receive any rema, write it down. We'll tackle that tomorrow. Well, let's do information architecture today. Me, I know my question is becoming so much. There's no plenty question. Please ask. Please ask. There's no plenty question. That's why LSCTF is sponsoring you so that you can ask question.
Yes, ma'am. This information architecture you asked us to run. This information architecture you asked us to run now. Are we doing the other like inside each rectangle like menu? Are we doing the sub menu and all other things that are inside the menu? Like
Yes,
now,
you
or
are.
just
Yes, you are.
okay. I made the part of restaurants. We write out all the restaurants we want to add in our this thing, all the meals, everything.
Yes, you're doing all. You're thinking of all of those ones. So for information architecture, like I said, it's all the content, all the things you want to see on your app. So you list them out. For user flow, right? There are some things that we did not include here. We're just putting the steps, right? The steps. As little as yes. So is there any other question? Is there any other question? So, hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
can hear you.
What if you are yet to come to maybe I was giving us about information architecture is that you should know that it has probability of growing. You can have some now, at the end of the day, you expand more on it. Treat it as a human being. We all grow, right, as human beings. So once we grow, know that the content will grow. When WhatsApp started, the information architecture was small, but now it's big because of more features that they are adding to it. So that's it. If there's no other question, I think you can start on it. Let me stop recording.